The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Lifeguard Imaging.
Coming up on Bloom, what's your vision for 2023? From easy ways to stay healthy to strengthening your relationships.
We get into the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We have our routines, we have our habits, and we never stop and evaluate the time that we are investing in others and the time that they're investing in us, right? So to be able to take a step back and make sure that we have appropriate alignment.
Plus, we're helping you build your vision for a better, healthier you in the new year. All that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, a full hour dedicated to your health and wellness. So get ready to bloom. Let's face it, we all know keeping those resolutions for 2023, like exercising and eating healthier, isn't easy. So today, we're going to inspire you with people who have reached their goals and others who can help put you on the right track. And for many of us, staying on top of our health is a top priority for 2023. Joining us now from Lifeguard Imaging are the VP of Business Development, former NFL great and Tampa Bay Buccaneer Martine Gramatica, and Vice President of Operations, Frankie Maldonado. Great to see you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Gayle. How are you?
So we are talking about ways, to stay on top of things in 2023, and Lifeguard Imaging is a way to do that. I mean, in the past year, you guys saved 1 to 3 lives every single day, but do you ever wonder about the people who didn't have exposure to this incredible opportunity right here in the Tampa Bay area?
We talk about that often. We've had conversations in the office about that, Gayle, and you always wonder, you're grateful you hear these wonderful stories, and we're so grateful for that opportunity, but we've always said, what about the people who we didn't have get a full body scan or enroll in one of our legacy imaging programs? Who did we maybe miss in terms of helping? We got our first story just before Christmas, and it's a touching one. The gentleman came in, it was one of our legacy members, and he was coming in for his annual scan, and he proceeded to tell me a story about one of his friends who had come in very early on in the process of us being here. And he said, the gentleman said, yeah, I was just going to get a heart scan, and that's all he got. Well, it turns out he was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer that he's now battling. And the gentleman who told me the story, and that means a lot to you and me because of our dads, the gentleman who told me the story said, he said to him, if I had only done what you guys did, I wonder if they would have found that. And the gentleman then just said to me, he goes, Frankie, that's why my wife and I are doing this every year. It's been our Christmas present to each other that we're going to get our bodies checked. So that's one of the stories we've heard. It's a terrible, terrible story, but it's a little haunting. Yeah, and
it is such a small price to pay for this peace of mind and to be able to catch things, because we're talking not just heart disease, but we're talking hundreds of different types of cancer that can be detected in their earliest of stages.
Yes, Gayle, and this is why we encourage our patients to scan yearly, because even with heart disease, we've had our patients are coming back now after their first scan because their legacy members have come back for the second time. And there's times where I was with a patient actually a few days ago where it's like, oh, I got a 0, I started eating and drinking, I'm fine now. And that's not necessarily the case. This is why we encourage patients to scan yearly, because now we're seeing results where they've even reduced their calcium, and in some cases they went from a 0 to a 4.5, which is heart disease. So that's why it's so important to scan yearly, set that baseline on the first scan, but then by scanning yearly, we'll be able to see any improvements, or if you're not improving, then you can see it as well.
Yeah, what's crazy about this, and you guys hear these stories every day, but I was at a holiday party before the new year, and somebody came up to me and they're like, I owe you such gratitude. Thank you so much. We were watching the show. My husband and I went in and got the heart scans, and this couple looks like the epitome of health, and the husband was, a walking time bomb with a heart condition. And that's the thing, you just never know. You don't have to look sick on the outside to have something very serious going on the inside.
If that was the case, so many people wouldn't die from heart disease and cancer. It just recently happened, as we know, with Kirstie Alley, Mike Leach, the head football coach of Mississippi State football. These people don't know until it's too late, and there's too many of these tragedies occurring. That's why this can be so valuable. It's insight. It gives you information.
Yeah, and even Martina Navratilova came out with 2 types of cancers that she's suffering from. And guys, we're just one of only 5 places in the country where you can get this done. So now is the time to pick up the phone, call 813 582-5222 or visit lifeguardimaging.com to receive a special Bloom offer. That's a free heart scan when you mention Gayle or Bloom, a $599 value. So call right now, 813-582-5222 for this special offer. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Lifeguard Imaging.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Call the tax man. Ooh, call the tax man. Call the tax man.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, call me right now. The IRS is the most relentless collection agency in America. They have the power to legally take everything you own. Home, paycheck, autos, any asset you have. So what do? Call me now. My team of experts can help you keep your money. We have programs that can significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe, even payment plans that now stretch out for months. We can also stop collection calls, wage garnishments, and remove tax liens. So if you owe the IRS a lot of money and you want to keep it, don't wait. Call the tax man right now.
Call the tax man. Ooh, call the tax man. Call the tax man.
Welcome back to Bloom. As we kick off the new year, many are setting resolutions and a vision for 2023. Joining us to discuss is intuitive life coach Dr. Danielle Clark. It's so great to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So great to be here.
So I love this. We're going to kind of look back at last year's top 8 resolutions from Statista, and maybe it'll give you some ideas in living healthier, personal improvement or happiness, losing weight, job or career goals, and financial goals, hit the top 5 of that list. And you say it's kind of, you can learn a lot from reflecting in the past.
Absolutely. So now's a really good time with these 2022 goals. First, if you haven't yet crafted a goal for yourself, it might give you some inspiration to know what was on other people's minds and hearts. And also, it's a good opportunity for you to get honest with yourself and say, did I fully master this goal last year, or is there a way I can up level or brush this off and make it new to carry it over year to year to build a little bit more stamina, strength, and fun associated with it?
Yeah, but I was shocked to see the result from Statista that 22% did keep their resolutions. However, 63% never even made any resolutions. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, let's talk about that. I'm here because I want to see more people crafting goals. A lot of people don't craft a goal for themselves because they're afraid of letting themselves down. A lot of people don't craft a goal because they feel as though it's going to be too boxing or constricting. But I'm here with research to let everyone know that if you craft a goal and you write it down on paper, you are 42% more likely to achieve it. So now's a really great time to get honest with yourself. If you're letting fear or limiting beliefs around New Year's resolution goals get in your way, think about exploring and putting some lightheartedness towards your goals and throwing one out there and writing it on paper.
So it sounds that you really do get behind creating goals, like it's something that you believe in.
Absolutely. And I also believe in being incredibly authentic with your goal, right? You have some people that are very detail oriented. You have some people that are very type A list makers. Those types create 10 goals, 20 goals, 30 goals. Other people, you might just want to craft something that feels a little lighter. Maybe it's just crafting a word. What is the goal for your 2023? Maybe it's to be more spontaneous. Maybe it's to find more peace. So you can have something very specific and measurable, or you can have something just a little lighter. So I do encourage goal setting, but I also encourage people to get honest with what type of a goal is going to honor that person. We don't all need to craft these really aggressive, hyper detailed goals to have one in mind. It's all about setting the intention and the feeling we want associated with that goal.
I like that. That's some really solid advice there. So many of us are quick to help someone else, keep their promise, but how do we do it for ourselves?
I know. It's so true. It's setting a better relationship with ourselves, right? Now's a really good time. People need to focus on setting boundaries. It's not an easy word, but getting comfortable saying no. This is where a goal takes place. The value of it, because if you set a goal and something is outside of you achieving your goal, it becomes much easier to say, Gayle, I'd love to go with you to that party, but I'm going to say no because I'm going to be busy writing my book, or I'm going to be busy at home fulfilling a goal that I gave myself. Boundary setting no, and just loving yourself more, right? That honest relationship with yourself. Anytime we self-sabotage, anytime we procrastinate towards ourselves, it's a sign that we need to lean in and work on some self-love.
That's very good to hear. Staying on track. I mean, that's why a lot of people don't even make goals in the first place, because they feel like as soon as they get off track, they're gonna done. I'm done. I can't do it. I'm a failure.
Absolutely. I recommend accountability groups. You don't even need to have the same exact goal shared to benefit from an accountability group. Get a few friends in place every other week. Meet up for coffee. Meet on Zoom. Where are you at with your goals? What can I do to support you? Just to have a community cheer you on. Super, super important. Other ways to stay on track: visualizations. There's so many tracking apps, right? Or even a good old-fashioned spreadsheet at home. Put a smiley face on when you hit it. And when you don't, when you miss a day, right? Or maybe you have that cheat meal, or you're off track because you're sick, whatever happens, this again is self-love. It really is 2 steps forward, yes, sometimes a step backwards, and that's okay. It's not getting so black and white with your goal that you can't move throughout it. The worst thing we can do is if we veer away, take that step back, and then all of a sudden feel regret, feel guilt, feel shame. Those aren't the emotions. Those aren't the vibrations we need to meet our goals. So it's loving yourself and moving forward and tapping into motivational books, motivational people, affirmations, visualizations that will help you realize sometimes that step backward is really attributing to that step forward.
This has been remarkable. Thank you so much. You're inspiring to all of us, and we always appreciate you joining us on Bloom. Hope to see more of you in 2023.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gayle.
All right, and stick around. Since up to 80% of people abandon their New Year's goal resolution, Bloom wants to help you succeed and stay on track. So we're going to have Dr. Danielle Clark back in February with more New Year's resolution, motivation, and advice. And up next, how vision really can change your life. We'll meet a lawyer turned novelist and hear her story when Bloom returns. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We all have dreams and visions of doing something different with our lives, but finding the time or the motivation to do it, that's a whole different story. Joining us now is top Tampa attorney who is living out her dream of becoming a writer, publishing When She Runs and When He Watches. Jen Murphy, it's so great to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
So I got to hear all about this because I've known Jen since our children were actually very, very small.
Yes.
And I know you're a busy attorney, but somehow you found the time to live out your dreams and write 2 books. So tell me, how did that happen?
So I've always written and always wanted to write, but as you know, with kids, busy practice, I never seemed to get very far. So I'd pick something up, put it back down, but then the pandemic hit and my oldest daughter went away to college. So all of a sudden, instead of going to events at night, as we do for work and networking and things, all of a sudden I'm home. And I'm not a huge TV watcher, so I couldn't just sit in front of the TV at night. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just start writing. And within 3 months, I had my first book done. not complete the editing phase,
Right.
but at least the story was done. And I figured I'm just going to keep going. And so that's how it started. And in a year, I had 2 books written.
That's incredible. So talk to me about the genre.
Okay, so they're murder mysteries, both set in Tampa. Actually, the second book picks up where the first one leaves off. Strong female protagonist, a lawyer in Tampa.
Funny how she came up with that, right?
It is not me. It is a combination of many lawyers who I know.
Okay.
And but I love reading. I love the genre, mystery, suspense, and I just felt that we didn't have a lot of Tampa-based books. You've got Carl Hyacin and Dorsey. His characters will go through Tampa, but they're not like Tampa-centric. So I thought it would be fun to put all the places that I go and all the restaurants I love and where I grew up in the books.
So what are some of those places?
So the first book opens up with the main character finding a body of a young co-ed in the bushes of her Hyde Park home.
Okay,
So,
all right.
yes, and then Malio's, Forbici,
Wow.
the places in Hyde Park, the best Cuban sandwich, which used to be bodegas in Seminole Heights, but now they're just in St. Pete. But so those types of things.
That's really, really cool. So for people out there that are watching that have always had a dream of doing something, how do we dig deep with the follow through?
So I think what used to always get in my way was thinking, there's no way I can finish this. I'm never going to be able to finish it. So this time I didn't focus on finishing it. I figured I'm just going to do it every day. I'm just going to do it every day, whether it's a paragraph or more. And so whether it's writing or anything else, don't think about, oh, I need to do this forever or for the next whatever. Just do something you love every day. And eventually it starts
to click.
It just starts to click.
Do you think just a lot of people, like you said, people just don't think they have the time, they don't think they can do it, and they probably lose their confidence as well?
Yes.
How is this being received?
People so far love it, and especially anybody who's from Tampa. People who are not in Tampa, they want to come visit Tampa because it seems fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, despite the murders.
Right.
So
yeah, which we do. We're not a high crime place.
Yeah,
so
those are fiction.
This is all Jen's thing right here. We have a pretty good reputation in the crime department here, but that's really pretty fascinating. And so you started with When She Runs First?
Yes.
Okay.
When She Runs First, and then When He Watches. And I'm working on the third one now, and that working title is When She Falls.
Yeah.
When She Falls.
And you actually you started your own publishing company.
I did. I started my own publishing company because I didn't have the time to really pursue agents, and that's what you really need to do to get picked up by a publishing company is you have to have an agent. And I'm type A and impatient, so I researched everything there was to know about publishing and started my own publishing company so that not only can I publish my books, but other people's books who also maybe don't want to go through the traditional process.
So did you do all the editing and everything by yourself, or did you go in partnership with someone?
No, I did everything myself except, of course, my female lawyer friends who had to read and give me their commentary, and some male attorneys as well. So because that's what we do. We look at words. So they were some of the best editors, including my mother, former attorney. So they were the best editors. I did partner with a designer for the covers.
Well, they did a great job. Congratulations to you, Jen. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We're going to share this story with you on our website. And stick around. We'll introduce you to a former meth addict turned federal judge who has ways to help you live a healthier, substance-free life when Bloom returns.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Welcome back to Bloom as we continue with ways to envision a better life for you, and for many, that means turning away from drugs and alcohol. Joining us now is a former meth addict turned federal judge and the author of From Junkie to Judge, One Woman's Triumph Over Trauma and Addiction, Mary Beth O'Connor. Mary Beth, welcome to Bloom.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about you and your backstory. I mean, it's incredible. You've written this book, From Junkie to Judge, and a lot of people would think, man, that's not even possible.
Well, I started using meth when I was a teenager. So the short version is child abuse led to childhood addiction. I was shooting meth at 17, and I didn't get sober until I was 32 years old. So it was a long haul. But I did get sober at 6.5 years. I went to law school, and at 20 years sober, I was appointed a federal administrative law judge.
That's incredible. And also, like, I guess an example to anyone that you can do anything, that you can break your addictions, you can change your life, because you are living proof of that.
I mean, that's why I chose that title, From Junkie to Judge. I think in a few words, it really gets that message across, that no matter where we are in our life, no matter how much we're struggling, there is always the infinite possibilities in the future if you can find the path forward and really take control of your life again.
So how do you find the path forward? Because I think a lot of people are stuck and they feel hopeless and they don't see a way out.
And that's exactly how I felt. When I went into rehab, and I did go into a long-term facility because I did have an extensive severe addiction, but I wasn't sure that I could get sober. I just thought, let me try, let me go and see if I can do it. And so I think don't create the false barrier of I have to be 100% committed, I have to be 100% sure. Just find enough hope to take those initial steps and see where that will take you.
And when you say initial steps, let's talk about that. Do they start as baby steps? Like what needs to happen?
So for many people, it would be helpful to get guidance from a doctor or a therapist. There's actually a growing subgroup where they specialize in substance use disorder, and get an evaluation. Do you need inpatient treatment, intensive outpatient treatment, or can you do it from home? Use peer support groups such as Alcoholics Anonymous or Life Rings Secular Recovery or She Recovers. Do you want a recovery coach, someone who can really meet with you and help ask questions and guide you forward? There are a number of options for people today, but it can be helpful to get professional expertise on doing an initial evaluation.
And this is a time of year where people are stopping, they're reflecting, they're talking about things like dry January, trying to start taking those steps.
Yes, exactly right. I mean, dry January, really the idea is that you sort of pause your alcohol or other drug use, and gives you time to reflect. Am I using alcohol in a way that's in my own best interest? Have I perhaps gradually increased my use, and now it's causing me productivity problems, or my emotions aren't on steady as I would like them? I'm becoming argumentative. Am I avoiding feelings or handling stress in a way that's actually not in my best interest? So taking the month off can have a lot of positive benefits and let you make a more conscious decision about what role you want alcohol to play in your life going forward.
Can anybody participate in this month?
Yes. In fact, last year, 20% of American adults actually did participate. And even though most of them do continue to drink, many of them drink less going forward because they had that break.
Yeah, I think you do discover a lot about yourself, because during the pandemic, and my husband and I, we talk about this, we're like, oh, we got nothing else to do. We're making dinner for the family. Let's pour a glass of wine. And then that starts to evolve into almost a daily habit. And it seems harmless enough, but then you wake up one day and you're like, wait a minute, you don't want to, you want to feel life. You want to know what's going on, and you don't want to have a crutch, even if it starts just to become a habit unknowingly.
Exactly right. I mean, alcohol it seems like you're bonding with your friends sometimes when you're out having drinks, but in the long run, it can really interfere with your ability to connect to your family, to your friends, even to yourself, to really have clarity about what you want and who you are. It can get in the way. And so that break can make those kind of problems clearer, and then you can move forward from there.
So how did you go about, landing to become a federal judge?
Well, I say that it's all about the step-by-step, right? It wasn't as if when I got sober, I thought, I want to be a judge. No, it was really, what's the right next step for me? What's the right next job? How do I prepare myself for that right next job? And then one job and another and then law school. It was really step by step. We don't need to know where we'll be in 20 years. What's the right next step? What can I do to accomplish that?
And you just know that because you became sober. You felt yourself and you felt the right decisions for yourself.
Yes, and I really, I spent time thinking about it and really talking with my friends and other people for some guidance and suggestions. It's not alone, right? We don't have to do it alone. But in the end, what's right for me? Where do I want to go?
What a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for joining us on Bloom, and congratulations on the book. I know it's going to inspire a lot of folks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, and stick around. Today's show contributor Joy Bauer is joining us with tips for a healthier you in 2023 when Bloom returns. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back. Everyone wants to start the new year off right, and our friend, the Today Show's nutrition, health, and lifestyle expert, Joy Bauer, is here to help us with some manageable health tips for 2023. Happy New Year, Joy. It is so great to see you.
Happy New Year. Oh, Gail, I was thinking about you, and I hope that you had a wonderful holiday.
Same to you, my friend. I hope yours was amazing, and you're starting off 2023 right. You've got 5 great tips, and you say these are all manageable ones.
That's right. I think what happens is when everybody starts off with their New Year's resolutions, they tend to be negative. What are the foods that we don't want to be eating? How much weight do we need to lose? And it's stressful and they're hard to sustain. So this year, what I'm proposing is we all switch our approach and we make our resolutions positive. So I came up with 5 easy ones that I think are realistic, they're manageable, but again, they focus on the positive. And the first one is add, don't subtract. The second is adopt a positive mantra. The third is eat with your eyes, then schedule a monthly me day. And the last one is smile. So I just went through this list very, very quickly, but I want to break it down with you because I think that these are easy to digest. And again, they're just going to feel happy and they're going to shift the mindset to positive, no more negative. We've had enough of that in 2022, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. So let's talk, when you say add, don't subtract, what do you mean?
So this is specific to our diet. Instead of worrying about what we shouldn't be eating, the carbs, the pasta, the pizza, the chocolate, forget it. Let's think about what we want to add to the diet. So we're adding, we're not subtracting. And when you think about what you want to add, I have all of these colorful produce items, right? Fruits and vegetables. Also think about the whole grains. If you haven't tried quinoa yet, put it on the list. And we need to eat more fish. So think about clever ways that you can enjoy and prepare salmon, just as an example. And so when you add these things to your diet, they're filled with satiating protein and the healthy fat and lots of fiber. So essentially what happens is, first, you're exciting your taste buds. But second, you're filling yourself up. You're crowding your belly space with all of the good stuff, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and you no longer have so much room for the processed foods. So just by default, you're eating better and you're eating less of the not so healthy. And I want to show you a couple of tricks on how to do this add thing. So let's say, for example, you're having oatmeal in the morning. So here what I've done is this is just frozen mixed berries, and a little trick is when you microwave them, look at this, you create all of this luscious juice, so you don't even need sugar in your oatmeal. You just add these berries, frozen berries that you microwaved, or you could do it on a simmering pot as well, right onto your oatmeal. So again, we're adding, and let's add some heart healthy nuts on top. So we essentially made this gorgeous oatmeal by adding versus subtracting. So that's one item. Another thing that I love to do is when I'm simmering soup, whether it's homemade or whether it's canned, I'm gonna tell you to cut open a bag of frozen vegetables, whatever you have in your freezer, and guess what? Add it right in. Oh, I'm splashing all over the place. But you're increasing the volume, you're adding versus subtracting, and you're creating basically this luscious, hearty soup. So
I love
that's our
that.
first point. Add, don't subtract.
And you say also adopt a positive mantra.
Yes. So 2023 has to be the year of you, meaning like to everybody that's watching. And so come up with some sort of positive mantra that speaks to you. It's got to be significant and personal and endearing. And it could, I just wrote some down over here. It doesn't have to be anything earth shattering, but it could be something like 2023 is the year of me, or it could be something like you got this. And then what you do is you take that mantra and you write it on Post-it notes and you place it on your bathroom vanity. So it's the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning to brush your teeth. You could put it on your refrigerator. You could put it on your car dash, on your computer, on your smartphone screen. Just make sure you look at it over and over again. So you start to believe it if you say it enough.
I love it. I love it. And then eat with your eyes.
Yes. So I'm going to bring a beautiful place setting over here, and I even have some flowers. Let me make sure everyone can see this. We do eat with our eyes. So it's really important to take the time to set the table in a beautiful manner. You know, what I've done here, Gayle, is these are my fancy dishes. Why do I stash them away in the closet? What are they waiting for? So, the point being, make your place setting look really beautiful. And I put some flowers here. If you have candlesticks, light them for yourself or just for a family dinner. And, when it comes to beverages, so what I'm going to do here is a sparkling water in a wine glass or a champagne glass. And just by putting some garnish, I have a lime slice or a lemon slice here. It fancies it up. I've gussied up my beverage so that, you sort of feel like it's more of an experience versus another humdrum meal.
I love that. I love that. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I know people will understand what it means to take a little time out for themselves every month and to smile, which is something we do every time we see you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us, Joy.
Oh, and you make me smile right back, Gayle. Mwah. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. And you can share this story by heading to our website. And coming up next, we'll show you how to do a relationship reset when Bloom returns.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology just $347. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology, many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not one, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $347. Plus, we'll add a portable charging dock and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $347 and free shipping. Call now.
800-854-2435. Again, that's 800-854-2435.
Welcome back to Bloom. We continue to explore visions for 2023, and for many that means working on strengthening relationships. And our next guest says that's when the 50% rule comes into play. Joining us now is behavioral scientist and the author of 7 Layers of Successful Relationships, Dr. Gino Colora. Dr. Gino, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Gayle. Always a pleasure to be in studio with you.
Oh, it's great to have you. So I was watching you on Instagram talking about this 50% rule, and it really makes you stop and think and evaluate what's going on in our relationships and why are we even in some of them?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things, Gayle, is having direction in relationships, right? Because we get into the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We have our routines, we have our habits, and we never stop and evaluate the time that we are investing in others and the time that they're investing in us, right? So to be able to take a step back and make sure that we have appropriate alignment and direction with them is very important, because more often than not, especially when we're talking about the 50% rule, it's important that we understand that 50% of every relationship, every single one that we have, we're responsible for. So if we're not bringing that 50% to that relationship, we need to evaluate that, right? We need to question, well, what's going on and why am I in that relationship in the first place?
Because it really calls into question someone's authenticity. Because if you're really not giving, you know, to the relationship 50%, for some maybe even more than that, then why are you doing it? Like, are you expecting something else in return? And that's not why you want a relationship with someone.
That's exactly right. And that word authenticity is so important, right? When you're looking at the why of the relationship, and you know, and it's tough because there's a part of it where, well, when it's convenient, I'll reach out to them or I'll talk to them, you know, at that time, as opposed to, no, you know what, this person, they mean something to me. And I want to make sure that I am pouring into them the same way that I would expect them to pour into me. And quite frankly, many times that's just not the case. We don't do that, right? So we have to take a step back and evaluate.
Yeah, they say there's a big loneliness, and we plan to explore this more in 2023 in the coming days, but a big loneliness epidemic happening in this country where people really don't have the relationships that they want, especially men, which I thought was very interesting. And they don't even have like a large friend group. And that comes from what, do you think?
So, you know, it's really interesting. So when you start taking a look at loneliness, and I talk about this in my book, and I call it connected disconnection, right? So this idea of we are more connected now, internationally, globally, than we ever have been throughout the history of time, right? But we also have a massive component of disconnection, which exemplifies itself in mental health challenges, loneliness challenges as well. So when you take a look at what is fueling this issue, what's fueling this challenge, right, from a loneliness perspective, you have to take a look at the relationship that these individuals have with themselves, because that's where it all starts, right? The relationship you have with yourself will always define the quality and depth of relationship you can have with others. And if they're not giving themselves that time to explore what is within and make sense of it and confront issues that could be conflictual, it's very important that they give themselves the opportunity to do so.
So how do we start doing that? Because to your point, and I'm thinking like, do I have a relationship with myself? Because I'm so busy worried about everybody else that I don't really stop to reflect on what's going on inside of me. So
Absolutely.
How do we do that?
So first and foremost, we have to define who we are, right? And 99% of the time, Gayle, when I ask folks, who are you, right? They'll give me their name, they'll give me their profession, right? They'll give me roles and titles that they hold with family, friends, so on and so forth. But when I ask them, no, those are labels. Who are you, right? What do you represent? What do you stand for? So I will have them write their own personal constitution. Now, the thing about that is when you ask someone to write their own personal constitution, to this day, I've probably had over 7,000 people go through this exercise, and not one has been able to write something that is robust and thorough and truly exemplifies who they are as an individual. And that's very telling, right? If I were to ask a physician, right, this diagnosis, what's the protocol, what are the procedures that need to happen? They know it, right? But when it comes to asking them who they are as an individual, it could be a challenge, right? Just depending on the person. So I like to start there. Let's define you first, right? And then the belief system that you carry, right? Which confidence, right? Well, what is confidence? Confidence comes from the Latin word confide, with faith. With faith in what? Yourself. So the belief that you have that actually every single thing that's written on that paper in your constitution, the choices that you make and the decisions that you make every day, are you following that, right? Or do you get easily swayed one way or the other, which can cause internal turmoil and conflict?
So once you have that relationship with yourself and you've explored that, what does it take to meet that 50% rule?
Yeah. So once you understand the value, all right, of every single person that is in your tribe, right, that you consider it's very important for me to have this relationship with him or with her, it takes you understanding the direction of where you want that relationship to go based off of what that other person means to you, right? And so if I don't have a clear direction and that direction isn't shared with the other person, how could I ever expect them to get 50% and me bring my 50%? It's not going to happen. It's just going to be plug and play, right? Kind of rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So what it takes is understanding that, look, this individual, they hold value in my life because they're a direct reflection of the kind of person I know that I am, as stated in my constitution. If that's not there, if that connection isn't there, then I have to reevaluate that, right? So if there's an alignment factor, that's where we start. And then from there, it's, okay, so 50% means my best. Am I at the highest and best use as a human being in this relationship that I can be? And am I bringing that to that relationship in every single interaction? And look, no one's perfect, right? So we strive for 50%, but maybe we can't, it doesn't always happen that way, right? But if you're consistently aware, consciously making the effort and having open dialogue with that other individual, it certainly helps you get there.
Ah, beautiful. I love that. What a great way to start the new year. Thank you so much, Dr. Chino.
You're welcome, Gayle.
Absolutely. We're going to share this story with you on our website. And when we come back, we'll show you how to build a vision board. That's coming up on Bloom. Welcome back. Looking to get motivated and improve your mindset this new year? A vision board can help. Joining us now is the founder of Crafting a Fun Life, Karima Henry. Happy New Year. It's great to see you.
Happy New Year. Yes.
So I love this. This is so much fun, and it's something that really anyone can do. You even got your kids involved.
I did.
We have like a board that your 8-year-old son made. It's so cute.
Of course, he included things that he really wanted.
And you say you can almost get into the mind of your child because you know what they're thinking.
That is so true, and I love that.
I love it. So what do you need to make a vision board?
So you need recycle or old magazines. If you don't have any, I would suggest checking with your local library or check online to see if any of those local groups have some, because you know people are always trying to get rid of things. So
yes.
Definitely check online or with your friends and family. So you make sure you get those magazines, stickers, whether it's letters, numbers, sayings, and then you need scissors, markers, and glue.
And then do you just start, or is there a method to it?
So for me, you know, everyone's different, but for me, I like to think about the goals that I have, and then I work from there, and then I start clipping random sayings, words, and pictures, and then I kind of have like a section where I want, whether it's personal or business related, and kind of separate, but you can do whatever you want, because I know everybody has their way of doing things.
And I see you also like cut out some pictures. Like
yes,
this
definitely pictures.
Is this for the girl wanting to achieve a good booty?
A nice body.
All right. Yes. I was like, okay.
You see, that was one of my goals.
I'm gonna put that right there in the center.
To lift and make it look nice.
I love it. I love it. So you do pictures, words, letters, and it's kind of like it almost becomes like an arts and crafts for yourself.
It's relaxing. I find it relaxing to make, because it's like a collage. So I find it relaxing, and having your goals that you can see, and make sure you put it somewhere that you're going to see it often, not throw it in the back of your closet so you can forget about it. So it's very relaxing, and of course I love my crafts, so this is like a top thing for me.
I love it. I love it, and it's a great way to start the new year. So I think I would start myself, in all honesty. Well, the cute booty is tempting. I think like for me, a home full of love is that's a great one.
That is a great one, and self-care, of course.
Yes.
You know, that's what the new year is all about: self-care, working out more, eating better. So I know a lot of people like to say, I want to lose weight, but let's find a different way to put it. So like working out, changing your lifestyle, eating better. That means cooking more at home and not eating out as much. That way you can save money and reach your financial goals.
I love that. And you said like self-care. A lot of us, especially women, we do not take time to slow down.
And then
and
moms.
farewell mommy guilt. That is very, very, very real, without a doubt. And so do you make like quadrants, like you said, like maybe
you
one?
Can make sections. My son kind of did his section. My younger is just all over the place. Usually kids will kind of have it all over the place, but if it helps you to kind of section them off, I would suggest that.
Okay, so this one here, like remove, is this like remove junk? Because that is one of my big goals for 2023 is to get more organized. Yes, I need to do this myself.
Yes.
It's to get a little bit more organized. You start to build up during the year, and then the new year starts, and you still have all that left over. So I'm going to build mine with a lot of organizational skills.
Me, definitely self-care, learning how to do my makeup and hair. I'm like, I'm getting to the age where I really need to make that a goal.
Make that a goal. I love it. I love it. So when you do this with your kids, talk to me a little bit more about, like, let's kind of go through what your son did there. That was so cute. Did you urge him to do the clean room, or did he do that himself?
I was like, let's discuss things that we can really work on at home, and that means cleaning your room and not watching me do it. So he was like a little hesitant about that, but he was like, sure, I'll add it to the list.
So he adds it to the list. And then I see like he added one where he wants to be
he wants to be stronger. Because he's really into flag football right now.
Okay.
So he wants to do things to make him stronger and be better at his sport.
So this is a great way for parents to communicate with their children and kind of find out what they're thinking, and maybe activities that you can launch them into in 2023.
Exactly, especially if you have teenagers that are not really interested in talking to you about certain things. This is a great way to get started.
And you're the queen of crafts, I know. I mean, this is like your forte.
Yes.
And do you just like plan activities and set aside time with the kids?
Honestly, sometimes I just wing it.
Really?
I do. A lot of people think because I craft so much that I have like a set schedule, and I don't, not all the time. Like around the holidays, of course, but throughout the year, I kind of base it around on what they want to do and kind of
Shifted for the new year.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, okay, so building the board is absolutely beautiful. So what do you do with the letters?
The letters. So if you want to put your name, or if you can't find actual words in a magazine, you can create
your own.
Yes, create your own.
I love that. Well, it's such a pleasure to see you again.
Thanks
and thank
for
you for
having
helping
me.
me do this. And again, when you make your vision board, make sure you display it where you can see it all the time. And we're going to post this story for you on our website. And before we go to break, it is time for today's Bloom trivia question. True or false? Vision boards are scientifically proven to help you set and achieve goals. We'll have the answer right after the break.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Call the tax man. Ooh, call the tax man. Call the tax man.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, call me right now. The IRS is the most relentless collection agency in America. They have the power to legally take everything you own. Home, paycheck, autos, any asset you have. So what do? Call me now. My team of experts can help you keep your money. We have programs that can significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe, even payment plans that now stretch out for months. We can also stop collection calls, wage garnishments, and remove tax liens. So if you owe the IRS a lot of money and you want to keep it, don't wait. Call the tax man right now.
Call the tax man. Ooh, call the tax man. Call the tax man.
It's time for today's Bloom trivia question. True or false? Vision boards are scientifically proven to help you set and achieve goals. The answer is true. Neuroscientist Dr. Terrance explains looking at images on a vision board primes the brain to grasp opportunities that may otherwise go unnoticed. That's because the brain has a process called value tagging, which imprints important things onto your subconscious and filters out unnecessary information. Thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. Don't forget to follow Bloom on social media. We're on all major platforms, and we hope you'll tune in again. On the next Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, we're focusing on staying healthy at any age with tips for skin, diet, and exercise. So stay healthy, and we'll see you on the next Bloom. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.